Namaste. My name's Todd Norian, and I'm the founder of Ashaya Yoga. Welcome to a look behind the veil, an Ashaya Yoga class that is really a combination of asana, meditation, pranayama, and a deep relaxation. So welcome. It's so wonderful to have you join me. I want to talk today about the power of this season, which is spring. And spring is a time for change. We see it everywhere, even though the weather has not really warmed up yet. It's coming. But just the songbirds are coming out now. The sun is staying out later in the day. The angle of the sun is a little bit higher in the sky. And the earth, as solid as it is, changes. Like every year it changes. And I believe as heart followers on the path of the heart, we need to learn how to embrace change. The root of all suffering really is this resistance to change, because change is the only thing that never changes. It's always changing. So it just seems like a really good practice, and we're reminded every year in the spring to how can we let go? How can we let ourselves change? How can we let life change? How can we really just be in the flow of life instead of resisting it? And I'll never forget when I turned 35, I looked in the mirror, my forehead was an inch longer. Like my body was already starting to change. My hair was falling out. Like the body just goes through these natural stages. And, nobody likes to get older, really. But it's the most natural flow, most natural process of nature herself, which is that we mature. We go through various stages. All of life is this process of learning how to shift and change and transition from what we had to what's coming. And the more we cling to what we had and we cling to what we don't want to change, or if we lose loved ones, and it's inevitable that that happens. I remember when my dad died, it's just I didn't want him to die, of course. But obviously life changed, but I didn't. And I was kind of stuck in that sort of angry at life for changing. There's, different phases of grief. But the idea is we need to come to grips with life continues to change, and then we can have our life flow, like flowing down the current of the river rather than swimming upstream all the time when we're trying to change everything from changing. And so the yogic pathway is we want to flow with life. We want to flow around obstacles. So embracing change is a big part of the spiritual practice. There's a term in Sanskrit called Sara, S-A-R-A, which is an oxymoron, which means itself plus its opposite. So Sara means spirit. And the oxymoron part of it is that Sara also means current and essence. So the current of something is always changing. The essence of something never changes. I mean, we think of trees, a perfect example. So the essence of the tree, we could say, is the sap. And yeah, it moves, but it doesn't really change. But what we see is that the flow of the tree over the seasons, it comes into full bloom, in the summer, and then it loses leaves, turns colors, loses leaves in the fall, and then goes dormant in the winter. So those cycles continue to change, but the actual essence of the tree doesn't change. Just like that, our essence is spirit, but this body is like the tree itself, and we're going to be going through lots of various changes. Our goal in yoga is to tap into the essence of things and make a connection so deep that keeps us very centered even as life changes, even as things fall away. Spirit never falls away. It's consistent. It's always there. So let's align with that spirit now. Take a comfortable seat. Roll your thigh bones in. Draw your tailbone down. Join your index fingers and thumbs together in the mudra of knowledge, Jnana Mudra. And what I like about this is the index finger represents our individual nature, which is limited, and the thumb represents our universal nature, which is unlimited. And so we touch that limitless essence part of ourselves. In a certain sense, the index finger is like our ego, constantly changing. So we touch the changing part, the current, touches the essence, the changeless. And then palms down. When you're ready, close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Ride on the current of the breath. It's like the current of grace that comes to us in this form of ebb and flow with the breath. It is the very life force itself. So let's drink it in. Breathe all the way down to the belly and even down into the hips and pelvis. And when you exhale, let your hips get heavier. Let yourself settle. And when you inhale, invite the light of the universe to fill you. Lift your side ribs. Take your shoulders back. Lift your throat. And then take your palate back, that's the roof of the mouth, and the back of your skull up. Align your palate directly vertical over your pelvis. And breathe through the central channel. It's called the Sushumna. It's one of the subtle sort of energy conduits. We have 72,000 of these energy conduits on a subtle level that carries the essence, the spirit, this rechargeable, renewable life force that becomes so prevalent in the springtime. So imagine you could breathe in through that central channel. When you exhale, breathe out through the top of your head. When you inhale, breathe in through the base of your spine. Take a moment and clear out any stress, whatever distractions are there, or anxiety. Often what keeps us in the mode of pain and suffering is we cling to not wanting things to change. So I want to invite you to let go. Release the past, let it be. And let yourself absorb and savor the wisdom that experience brings us from the past. Reflect on how every experience of the past has brought you to where you are today. And in that sense, we can bow to it with gratitude. At the same time, release going into the future to try to figure anything out. And release any anxiety about not knowing. There's only so much we can know. And so we rest back into the present moment, at peace, centered in the storm, calm in the chaos. Because when you're connected to your heart, you're connected to the source of all that is. And we enter into the changeless state, which is very soothing for the mind that gets afraid, that clings to what is, or has anxiety about what might come. Breathe into your heart now and connect even more fully with the spirit within, the Sara as the essence. And there, deep in your core, set an intention for your practice that for the next 45 minutes, you'll stay with yourself. You'll flow in the current of grace and really savor this time. And allow life to flow, allow life to change. And allow yourself too to change as needed. Then bring your palms together in front of your heart. And with the harmonium, we'll chant 3 ohms together. Let this om be your way of connecting to the Sara, the essence of all that is, because the om is the essence of all sound vibration. let the Om vibration continue to expand within you on a subtle level, so that your whole body, every cell, every fiber of your being is filled with the sap of life force, the sweetness of the essence of spirit now infused in you as you. Into this ever-flowing essence in the heart, gently bow your head. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Namaste. Welcome back. Okay, so we're going to do some stretching, a little bit of asana, and then pranayama, breathing, and some meditation, and then we'll finish with the shavasana. All right, so come on up to a standing position. I'll meet you there in just a moment. Come stand with your feet hip distance apart and parallel. Make sure that the front ankle and second toe lines point straight ahead. Palms in front of your heart. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths. And then observe the foundation beneath you. We want the 4 corners of the feet to settle deep down into the earth. So place the big toe ball mounds. And then pull back to the inner heel. Fan from the inner heel to the little toe ball mound without moving your feet. Then keep those 3 points down and pull back from the little toe to the outer heel. Embrace change, embrace life. Let's release those roots of suffering where we just don't want anything to change. And let's get up to speed with life. Everything changes. May we let that be okay. Hug in with the embrace. Thighs back, tail in. From your pelvis, just push down, send roots from those 4 corners of your feet, from your pelvis down, and from the pelvis up. And then inhale, stretch your arms all the way up. Exhale, release your arms down and take in the fullness of spring, the growing light, the growing warmth. Hopefully it will warm up eventually. Have faith. And see if you can let your breath flow like the current of grace, but stay steady in your awareness behind the breath. The essence does not move. The essence does not change. Let that be your awareness, steady and true. But then let everything else change and be the witness of that change. Inhale, stretch up, hold your arms up, pull your armpits back, move your groins back, pull your tailbone down, and then take hold of your right wrist and gently crescent arc over to the left. As you move to the left, anchor your right foot even more into the earth. So let the unchanging be in the right foot, but the breath changes, your body starts to open. And when you have that balance of essence and current, your heart cracks open. You go to the place in the middle where you recognize your true nature, which is free from suffering, which delights in the changes. You know, it's like we delight in seeing our kids grow up or our grandkids grow up. There's a lot of delight in that. Root down through your right foot. Inhale, come up. Take hold of the left wrist now, but anchor your left foot down first. Keep it steady, and then crescent arc. Full deep breaths. Stay steady with your awareness while you allow the breath to flow and move. Current and essence together. That word Sara contains both, which is really the paradox, because you're both the changeless spirit and the changing self, the Atma and the Brahman. There's many different ways to name it. You are the Shiva and the Shakti together. Root down through your left foot and inhale, come up. Exhale, fold forward, lead with your heart. Come all the way down. Inhale, heart halfway forward. Exhale, bow. Tune into the current now as you lift. And then exhale, bow to your essence, which is steady inside. Inhale, let's bring some of that essence out into the world. Let your light shine. Bow, drink deeply. Inhale, shine brightly. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Just step back and then alternately press one heel and the other. Go back and forth. Bend both knees. And then hug in, embrace change. Claw your finger pads, roots of the fingers where they join the hand. And then pull the embrace of change up from your hands into your heart. So your arm bones lift. Instead of collapsing the shoulders down, we get into a state of just resignation. I give up. I quit. Life is changing too fast. No, we need to rise up. Lift your armpits. Yeah, embrace change. But then let go in the heart. And try to do both. Armpits back, heart soft. Bend your knees. Turn your thighs in. Lift your sitting bones to get a low back curve. And then tail in. Lengthen the curve. And from your heart, just push down into your hands. Bring more light, more spirit out into the changing world. From your heart, root the base of your shins back. Very good. Inhale, right leg up. Hold for a moment. Lift through the inner right thigh. Inner right thigh. Take the base of your left shin back. Reach a little bit higher up. And then exhale. Big lunge forward. Come up, hands to hips. Pause for a moment. Remember the essence. And then embrace change. Squeeze your legs toward the midline. Take your left hip forward, right hip back more. Hips square to the front. Arms up. Now root from your pelvis down and back through the left heel. Forward through the right shin. And rise up. Tailbone is strong. You curl back. Hug into the essence to stay steady even as you flow and shift and change. Take hold of the left wrist with the right hand. We're going to do a little crescent. Squeeze your legs toward the middle to embrace change. It'll keep you more stable so you're in the flow as you crescent off to the right. And then inhale, come up. Sweep your arms out to the side, come down. Step back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. Lift the inner left thigh more. From your heart, push down through your hands, root the hands down, and rise even higher. There's no upper limit to how much joy and how much levity and stretch you can bring. And when you're balanced with the essence and the current, you become unlimited. Exhale. Lunge the left foot forward. Squeeze your legs toward the middle. Come up, hands to hips. Pause and breathe. Remember, the flow of the essence comes through the current of the breath. Scissor your legs, right hip forward, left hip back. Thighs back, tail in, and then stretch your arms. Hug into the essence and then push that essence from your pelvis straight back through the right heel, forward through the right shin, left shin, front shin. And then take hold of your right wrist and let's crescent, arc over to the left, tail in, pull up, bow just a bit more. It's going to work the low back more. Hold it. Behind the changing reality, even the sort of it should hurt good. If it hurts, it should only hurt good. But under that, try to find the essence where you can maintain the stretch. We draw our strength from the essence that doesn't change. It's the sap, it's the life force, it's the core. And then inhale, come up. Sweep your arms out to the side, come on down. Plank. Bring your knees to the floor if you need. Otherwise, go to chaturanga, knees down, shoulders back, tail in. If you can keep your knees up, do it. Thighs back, tailbone in.
From your low belly, push back through the heels. From your low belly through your head. Be strong. Tap into the essence. Pray for a miracle. Then exhale down. Point your toes back. Embrace change. Hug your legs. And then pull from your feet to the pelvis. Like you're putting on a neoprene wetsuit for the cold water. Thighs back. Tail in. And then inhale, rise. Come up into Bhujangasana, Cobra. Claw your hands and pull isometrically backwards. Embrace change. Your shoulder blades will hug the back of the heart, which will invite the heart to open forward. Hold and breathe. Then even as you embrace change, from your pelvis, push out through your toes. And from your pelvis, rise to the top of your head. Hug into the essence, which is unchanging, and allow the current to flow and change naturally without any resistance. Now exhale, come on down. Push back, downward facing dog pose. Step by step, walk in. Root the feet. Now bend your knees a lot. Sweep your arms out to the side. Use all leg power to come up. Look up. Exhale. Release. Take a wide stance. Make your feet parallel. Hands to hips. Then square the left foot. Turn your right foot all the way open. Squeeze your legs. And bend your right knee to a square. Come onto your forearm. Hug in to embrace change. Try to get the inner left thigh to pull in. So if you pull the inner edge of your foot isometrically, so it means it doesn't move, that's going to get your leg to engage. Then, using the engagement, take your thighs back, tail in. Take your left arm up and over. Nice deep stretch. Reach a little more. Bend your front knee a little more. As you hold and breathe in the pose, your life force, this essence, is going to clear you out and you can actually go deeper. So you might be able to reach down and touch with eagle talons to the outside of the right foot. And if that's too much, just get off the bus. I call it bus stop yoga. You get off at your stop. So if some of you are here, that's your, just enjoy the scenery. And if you can go further, go. Root through your feet. Inhale, come up, hands to hips. Feet parallel again. Take a breath. And then open the left foot. You want your left heel to bisect the center of the back foot. Hug your legs. Bend your left knee, bring your forearm on your thigh. Take a breath. Enjoy the beauty of the moment, beauty of the coming of the light, coming of the spring. And squeeze your legs. One thing spring teaches us is we must embrace change or suffer. It's your choice. I say embrace change. So squeeze, thighs back, tail in. Try to get the inner thigh muscle of the right leg to tone toward the bone. Tailbone in, right arm up and over. Now, from your pelvis, root down through your feet into the earth and use that as a springboard to rise from your pelvis all the way up and out through your fingers. Like all plants grow in this way. From sort of the core, they're sort of the bulb of the seed. Roots go down first, then they sprout. So root first in order to rise. And if you can go further, then bring your left fingers to the floor. It's called eagle talons. We avoid doing palm flat to save the carpal bones. Too much stress when you put your hand flat on the floor and weight bear. Root down through your feet. Inhale, come up. Hands to hips. Let's do one more. Feet parallel. Square the left. Turn the right open. Exhale. Squeeze your legs and bend your right knee. Center of the right knee in line with toe 2 and 3. Adjust. And then take the top of your left thigh back. This part almost always pops forward. And the better alignment is to try to take it back so that you take both right and left edges of your pelvis back evenly. Especially the left edge, because of the position of the left foot, it tends to pop forward. So take the left inner edge of your pelvis back, then pull your tailbone in and really wrap the right buttock down and back so that the center knee moves toward the right in line with toe 2 and 3. Now stretch your arms. From your pelvis, root your feet down more, and then from your pelvis, try to lengthen your spine. And we want to get the arms more or less parallel to the floor, and then look over the right fingers. Breathe. Wonderful. Inhale, right leg straight. Now, go towards Trikonasana. So hinge through the right hip, left hand to your hip. Bring your right hand down to the shin. Come a little bit to the inside of the leg and lean towards the inside. That will assist your thighs to go back more, which will help your back remain fluid. Low back curve. Then pull your tail in. Replace the right hand behind the shin. You could put your hand on a block if you need, left arm up. And like a radiant star from your pelvic core, just shine out in all directions. Let the light of your star through the cords of the star radiate out. Move your thigh bones back a bit more and then pull your tailbone in more. Root through your feet. Come up, hands to hips, feet square again, right foot parallel, left foot out. Hug your legs strongly and then bend to warrior 2. Bring your left knee into a square in the center of the knee in line with toe 2 and 3. And then we've got the right edge of the pelvis to go back. So see if you can bring the right edge and the left edge back evenly. Thighs back, tail in. Reset the center of your left knee in line with your second and third toe, and then arms out to the side. So your torso should be perpendicular. That's it. Breathe. Continue to move the inner edges of your pelvis back, but pull the outer left hip crease back and down. And then stretch your left leg straight. Pull up on the kneecaps. Okay, embrace change with the kneecap hug. And then hinge through your left hip. Right hand to hip. Come to the inside. Lean towards the inside. Hips back. Tailbone in. Left fingers to the outside of the shin. I've got my forearm right up against the outer shin. That provides an extra support. Right arm up, armpits back. And then take your inner thighs back again and pull your tail in, especially draw the outer left hip crease back. Do a little variation on this side. Just stretch your top arm overhead. Let that increase. Inhale, root your feet down and come up, hands to hips. Step by step. Walk your feet together and then fold Uttanasana. And breathe. Hold it there. Draw in to the essence, the sap, the life force. And then just distribute that with your breath throughout your whole body. Good. Bend your knees, come down to all fours, and then lie on your belly. Come onto your left forearm and lift up. We'll do a quad stretch and a little bit of a back bend, Ardha Bakasana. Bend your right knee, hold your right foot with your right hand and bring your heel more toward the hip. And try to avoid moving your right knee all the way out to the side. So hug into the essence, which is unchanging and unmoving. Turn your foot out a bit and then bring your heel toward the hip. Root the base of your right thigh down. It's just above your knee. Drag it forward, pull your tailbone in. For those who can rotate the shoulder, bring your thumb, inner edge of the big toe, pivot, thumb down, elbow up. Lift your heart, ribs to the left. Enjoy the stretch. And exhale down. Come up onto the right forearm, parallel to the front edge. Bend the left knee, left heel to hip. Same idea, press the base of your left thigh down, drag isometrically forward, and then tailbone in. To open up the shoulder, bring your left thumb to the inner edge of the big toe. It's a pivot, thumb down, elbow up. Curl your toes over your hand. And then from your pelvis, push straight back through your legs, but forward through your heart. Ribs slightly to the right, shoulders back. Lift your neck and your head. Breathe. And exhale, release. Push back into child's pose. Big toes touch. Knees a little wider. Just fold forward, arms in front. Bring your forehead down. And take a couple of deep breaths. Imagine you could crawl back into your seed form. And there, just let yourself let go and merge with the essence that's encoded with pure potentiality. It never ceases to amaze me that the entirety of the huge oak tree is in the acorn seed. It's a beautiful metaphor. Spiritually, the vastness of the universe is encoded in the shell of the body. And then our yoga practice becomes the awakening of the universal within the individual. Inhale and slowly come up. All right, set yourself up for pranayama. So you want to be taking a nice seat. Elevate your hips with one or two blankets. I like to use these thick blankets. It gives me about maybe 4 inches off the floor. Roll your thigh bones in. Tailbone in. We're going to begin today with simple breath called Ujjayi, Pranayama. Ujjayi means to victoriously uprise. Uj, to rise up. Jais, with victory, with enthusiasm. So it's in and out through the nose, soft breath. When you're ready, you can close your eyes. We want to make an aspirated whisper sound with the lips closed. It helps to imagine whispering the sound sa without any, with the lips closed. So you're not enunciating the sound, but you imagine the sound. And it will create a hissing sound, and just make the hissing sound the same volume from start to finish of each breath, but also that the inhalation and exhalation sound exactly the same volume. So if someone were listening to you breathe, they wouldn't be able to tell if you are inhaling or exhaling.
permit the pauses between the breaths. Allow just a little gap, a little space. Begin to extend that space by 1 or 2 counts. So inhale and then hold, and then exhale, and then hold the breath out effortlessly without straining. Continue. And now release Ujjayi and just study the calming effect on the body and the mind. Let's continue with alternate nostril breathing. So bring your right hand up. This mudra or position is called Vishnu mudra. You curl the index finger and middle finger down. These are the ego fingers. They bow to the heart of the hand. And then your thumb governs the right nostril, 4th and 5th fingers on the left. Inhale both nostrils. Exhale through the right nostril, close the left. Inhale right. Exhale left, close the right nostril. Inhale left. Exhale right. Continue traversing back and forth. And once you feel comfortable with the rhythm, apply the Ujjayi sound. And it takes this alternate nostril breath, Nadi Shodhana, even deeper. Nadis are the little conduits in the subtle body that carry the sara, the essence. Shodhana means to purify. So Nadi Shodhana is when we purify the 2 primary channels. Right nostril is the Surya Nadi, the sun. It's related to the left hemisphere of the brain. The left nostril is the Chandra Nadi, or the moon channel, related to our creativity on the right side of the brain. And as you alternate back and forth, you make these contrasts complementary. The polarities become balanced and unified. Now the next time you inhale through the right nostril, exhale through both nostrils. We complete Nadi Shodhana the same way that we began. Take a comfortable seat. Join your index fingers and thumbs, palms down. And then begin the practice of silent mantra meditation. We'll use the Hum-Sa mantra, which is a very potent, ancient mantra that means hum, I am, and sa is that, referring to the universe, referring to all that is. I am all that is. The depth, the essence of your experience resides within your heart. So you offer the pure thought of the mantra Hamsa and place it in the field of your awareness. If you have an initiated mantra, you may use that instead. If you're new at mantra meditation, it can be very helpful to coordinate the mantra with your breath rhythm. So when you inhale, silently think, hum, and when you exhale, think, sa. And stay with the mantra for as long as you can. If your mind wanders away, just very gently bring it back. It doesn't matter if your mind goes on a journey. What matters is that the awareness that is always present, always steady, witnesses that and directs you back to the mantra. It's interesting because the mind is more like the current, and your witness and the mantra is more like the essence. So try to bring the current and essence together as one as you practice for the next minute or so. Now very gently bring your palms together in front of your heart. Offer a bow to the essence. And then when you're ready, come lie down on your back. Rest in Savasana, relaxation pose, for a couple of minutes. Let yourself get really comfortable. What's so nice about relaxing after mantra meditation is during the practice of mantra meditation, the mind tends to heat up. There's a purificatory process with the pure vibration of the mantra. And so when you lie down, it lets everything integrate. The mind can let go, can cool off. And imagine you could rest in the current of grace, like floating in a beautiful, warm river of light. Visualize now the central line that runs through your body. Let that be the essence, or like the center of the tree where your sap flows. And allow the rest of your body to melt away from the sap, like a sheet on a clothesline. Let go of your body. Let yourself be supported by the essence, the life force herself. In this energy of total support, you are allowed to let go even more. As you let go, embrace the change that spring brings. Let yourself change. Let your relationships change and grow or dissolve. And then let life change. Let your life change, evolve, dissolve, shift. and trust that the current of grace will always carry you back to the ocean, the essence of all that is. Now let yourself completely dissolve into silence. Merge and become one with the essence of all that is. Then as you're ready, gently return. Receive the current and flow in the form of your breath. But try to stay calm and relaxed. Gently stretch and see if you can maintain the essence as you pull your knees in, roll gently to the right. And then slowly come up to a seated position. Sit up tall, shoulders back. Close your eyes and then bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take a couple of deep breaths. And again, feel the juxtaposition of the current of the breath and the awareness behind the breath as the unchanging essence. And see if you can allow both to coexist. In fact, when you're steeped in your essence, you're able to see the change more clearly. You can see the good, you can see the beauty that arises from change. And you see that life is always changing for the better, and that everything in life is for your awakening. And let's receive the benefits of the practice as a blessing of light. May we offer this essence out into the world so that others may also be able to tap in to their own life force, sap force, unchanging essence, to more deeply appreciate and flow with the changes. Embrace change, embrace yourself, embrace life. This is the path of the heart. This is Ashaya Yoga, abode of the heart. Let's take a deep breath in now and tap back into the source essence with the sound of Om. Namaste. Thank you for your practice. Have a great rest of your day.